From stories told by the mother. The origin of all avatars. Today, I have been asked to speak to you about the avatar. I could speak to you of a very old tradition, more ancient than the two known lines of spiritual and occult tradition, that is, the Vedic and Chaldean lines. A tradition which seems to have been at the origin of these two known traditions, in which it is said that when, as a result of the action of the adverse forces, known in the Hindu tradition as the Asuras, the world, instead of developing according to its law of light and inherent consciousness, was plunged into the darkness, inconscience, and ignorance that we know. The creative power implored the Supreme Origin, asking him for a special intervention which could save this corrupted universe. And in reply to this prayer, there was emanated from the Supreme Origin a special entity of love and consciousness, who cast himself directly into the most inconscient matter to begin there the work of awakening it to the original consciousness and love. In the old narratives, this being is described as stretched out in a deep sleep at the bottom of a very dark cave, and in his sleep there emanated from him prismatic rays of light which gradually spread into the inconscience and embedded themselves in all the elements of this inconscience, to begin there the work of awakening. If one consciously enters into this inconscient, one can still see there this same marvelous being, still in deep sleep, continuing his work of emanation, spreading his light. And he will continue to do it until the inconscience is no longer inconscient, until darkness disappears from the world and the whole creation awakens to the supramental consciousness. And it is remarkable that this wonderful being strangely resembles the one whom I saw in vision one day, the being who is at the other extremity, at the confines of form and the formless. But that one was in a golden crimson glory, whereas in his sleep the other being was of a shining diamond whiteness, emanating opalescent rays. In fact, this is the origin of all avatars. He is, so to say, the first universal avatar who gradually has assumed more and more conscious bodies and finally manifested in a kind of recognized line of beings who have descended directly from the Supreme to perfect this work of preparing the universe so that through a continuous progression it may become ready to receive and manifest the supramental light in its entirety. The intervals separating these various incarnations seem to become shorter and shorter, as if to the extent that matter became more and more ready, the action could accelerate and become more and more rapid in its movement, more and more conscious too, more and more effective and decisive. And it will go on, multiplying and intensifying until the entire universe becomes the total avatar of the Supreme.